Code RED. If you bleed red and gold, drop everything because what just leaked out of Arrowhead will make your stomach turn. 0-2 in the preseason, and the record is the least of it. A starting safety went down in warm-ups, a rookie quarterback just forced his way onto the 53, and the most important position on the offensive line is a full-blown crisis. Here's your first payoff. Alohi Gilman, Brett Veach's 3-year free agent answer in the secondary, was scratched with low back spasms minutes before kickoff. If you believe the kingdom rises when the Broncos doubt us, hit like and subscribe right now. We start in the training room, and the list is longer than you think. Stay locked, double cliffhanger at the end. Warm-ups, not a snap played, not a whistle blown. A veteran walks off the field before the game even starts, and an entire defense feels the floor shift underneath it. Chiefs Kingdom, Kansas City fell to 0-2 in the preseason on Saturday, and nobody in that building cares about the record. What they care about is the medical report. The name? Alohi Gilman. And Andy Reid confirmed it after the game. Low back spasms in warm-ups, and the starting safety never played. Then it got worse during the game. Defensive end Tyreek Smith tweaked his right hamstring and couldn't continue. Reid said he wasn't sure how bad it was, only that it was bad enough to end his night. Let's be clear about which one actually matters, because they are not equal. Gilman is the far greater concern, and it's not close. He was one of Brett Veach's biggest free agent acquisitions this offseason. Signed to a 3-year deal for one specific purpose: to replace Brian Cook after Cook left for Cincinnati, and to give a rebuilt secondary the experienced voice it did not have a year ago. That last part is the piece people underrate. Gilman jumps straight into the mentoring role. This secondary is young. Young secondaries get gashed on communication, not on talent, and Gilman is the guy making sure everybody is looking at the same picture before the snap. Take him off the field and you don't just lose a starter, you lose the traffic cop. And in a division where Denver, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas all air it out, a safety who gets everybody lined up correctly before the snap is worth far more than any stat line will ever show on a Sunday afternoon. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. He wasn't the only safety missing. Shamari Connor sat out too, dealing with a knee issue after colliding with receiver Tyquan Thornton in practice earlier in the week. Reid had already told reporters that one was precautionary. So with both starting safeties in street clothes, the Chiefs leaned on Jaden Hicks and rookie free agent Xavier Nwankpa to take the first team reps. Now take a breath and look at the full list, because this is the part that should make the kingdom nervous. Defensive tackle Omar Norman Lott has missed the entire preseason recovering from a torn ACL. Linebacker Jack Cochrane is dealing with a right knee. Defensive end Ashton Gillott ruptured his plantar fascia. Linebacker Drew Tranquill has missed time with back spasms of his own. Cornerback Mansour Delane was only just cleared for his first preseason action. Add Gilman and Smith to that pile and you're looking at a defense that has barely been on the field together all August. That's the hidden cost nobody puts in a box score. Continuity, reps, timing. As for Tyreek Smith, let's be honest about his situation. He's probably on the outside looking in for an active roster spot anyway. Kansas City is not exactly loaded top to bottom at defensive end, but Smith wasn't a favorite to make the 53 before this, and a hamstring in the 3rd week of August is a brutal way to lose your audition. Here's the good news, and there is some. There are still 3 weeks until the regular season opener against Denver. Back spasms respond to rest. Most of these guys should have enough runway to be ready. But you don't want new names appearing on the list in late August, and Gilman is a pivotal piece of the plan. So I want your honest read, Chiefs Kingdom. Is this normal preseason attrition, or is this defense already in trouble before week 1? Comment your answer, and smash that like if you think Gilman is back and starting against the Broncos on September 14th, because while the defense counts bodies, a rookie quarterback just made the front office's decision for them. That's next: 9 completions, 17 attempts, 74 yards. Those numbers won't make a highlight reel, and yet they might have just changed the shape of the Kansas City Chiefs' 53-man roster. 2 preseason games in, the conversation has flipped completely. This isn't about whether a certain young quarterback belongs in the NFL anymore. It's about whether Kansas City can afford to let him anywhere near the practice squad. The name? Garrett Nussmeier. Start with the context. Patrick Mahomes was held out again on Saturday, coming off an ACL tear, and nobody should be surprised by that. This franchise has every reason on earth to be overly cautious with the most valuable asset in the sport. That caution has handed Nussmeier rep after rep after rep, and he has used them. Because here's the reality of the practice squad. It is not a safe place to hide a quarterback you like. Any team can sign him away. Any team with a QB injury in week 3 can pick up the phone and take him. And after 2 preseason games like this, it's nearly impossible to believe Kansas City would take that gamble. Carrying 3 quarterbacks now looks like the plan. Let's be fair about what the tape actually showed. because I'm not going to oversell a 7th round rookie. It was far from perfect. He hit bumps. There were several plays where he was a beat behind, where the decision came out just a bit too late, and that hesitation is exactly why he was still available in the final round of the draft. You could see both versions of him on Saturday night, the best case version and the reason he fell. But the arm talent, that is not in question. It flashed all camp and it flashed again against Tampa Bay. This is a project quarterback with real tools who needs time to develop, and the Chiefs are in the perfect position to give him exactly that, which is precisely why Justin Fields is on this roster. Fields is the proven stability, the guy with the NFL starts, and he should absolutely remain the primary backup. His movement out of the pocket is a genuine weapon, and his experience shows up in the moments where Nussmeier's inexperience is glaring. Different roles, different timelines. And that's a healthy thing for any quarterback room to have. Competition without chaos. A veteran who knows the league and a rookie chasing him in practice every single day, which is exactly how young quarterbacks actually get better. One is the emergency answer for this year. The other is the long-term investment behind Mahomes. And with Mahomes coming back from an injury this serious, depth at that position isn't a luxury, it's insurance. He's defied every expectation with his comeback, and the kingdom should still want a real fallback plan sitting on that bench. That's not doubt. That's just responsible roster construction. Now here's what the staff needs to see. One more preseason game, a clean outing, no obvious regression. The rookie mistakes will still be there, that's fine, that's expected, but the trajectory has to keep pointing up. If Nussmeier finishes strong against Seattle, this decision makes itself and Kansas City walks into September with 3 quarterbacks and a developmental piece they didn't have last year. So tell me what you do, Kingdom. Do you burn an active roster spot on a 7th round rookie quarterback? Or do you use that spot on defensive depth given everything we just talked about in the injury report? That's a real trade-off, and I want to hear both sides. Drop it in the comments and hit like if you believe Garrett Nussmeier is the long-term QB2 behind Patrick Mahomes. Because there's one more problem in Kansas City, and it's the scariest one of all. It's the position that protects the quarterback's blind side. And right now, the Chiefs don't have an answer. That's next. A quick pressure, a strip sack, and a coaching staff watching an entire summer's worth of investment come apart in a single half of football. Kansas City has spent most of training camp preparing one specific young man for the most important job on the offensive line. On Saturday night, it did not go well. Sources inside the building have been quiet, but ESPN's Nate Taylor said the quiet part out loud. Left tackle is a problem for the Chiefs, and there is no obvious solution. The name at the center of it? KAHLIL Benson, the undrafted rookie out of Indiana. Here's what Taylor laid out. The team invested most of camp in preparing Benson for the job, and his performance on Saturday was described as quite disappointing. He struggled in pass protection, gave up quick pressure to rookie Ruben Bain Jr., and surrendered a strip sack to outside linebacker Anthony Nelson. 2 of the worst outcomes in football on the blind side in the same night. And per Taylor, the likely move now is to slide Benson inside to guard, where he looked much better against the Rams a week earlier. That's not a demotion, by the way. That's a coaching staff finding a player's actual position. Plenty of good NFL guards started out as college tackles who couldn't handle NFL speed on the edge. But it leaves a hole. So who plays left tackle? The answer, at least for now, appears to be Jalen Moore, the 5-year veteran. And here's the uncomfortable part. Taylor didn't exactly praise him either. Moore hasn't been impressive. He's simply the most ideal option available, which is a very different sentence. The only other name mentioned is Issa Pohl, a second-year player who took snaps at left tackle with the second-team offense on Saturday. That's the whole board. 3 names, 1 job, and roughly 3 weeks to sort it out before the games start counting for real. In most seasons, a team already knows the answer by late August, and the fact that Kansas City still doesn't may be the loudest signal coming out of this entire preseason. A rookie who might be a guard, a veteran who hasn't stood out, and a second-year backup. Now think about what that means for this season. This offense is built around a quarterback coming back from a serious injury. Every single conversation about Mahomes' return eventually comes back to one question. Can they protect him? You can have all the weapons in the world, but if the blind side leaks, none of it matters. And this franchise has learned that lesson the hard way in the biggest game of all. Denver's front on September 14th is not a soft landing spot for an unsettled tackle. And the pressure is real because this team is trying to prove that last season, when they missed the playoffs entirely, was an anomaly. That's the entire mission statement of this year. You don't erase a season like that with a shaky left tackle. 0-2 in the preseason doesn't matter. An unsolved blindside absolutely does. There is one more chance to sort it out. A home exhibition against the Seattle Seahawks before the regular season opens against the visiting Broncos on September 14th. One more evaluation, one more set of reps for Moore, for Pohl, and for Benson wherever they line him up. So give me your solution, Chiefs Kingdom. Do you roll with Jalen Moore and hope the veteran settles in? Do you give Issa Poole a real look? Or do you call around the league and trade for a tackle before cut day, knowing everybody else has the same problem? Comment your answer, I'm reading them all. Smash that like if you think Veach makes a move before week 1. And subscribe right now, because if this line holds up, Broncos fans are going to have a very long September. Put all 3 of these stories together and the picture is impossible to ignore. 3 stories. 1 roster, 3 weeks, and a whole lot of uncertainty. A starting safety went down before kickoff, a 7th-round rookie played his way onto the 53, and the blind side is still an open question. That's Kansas City right now. A franchise with championship expectations doing genuine triage in late August. Here's the season-level truth. If Gilman's back settles down, the defense gets healthy, and one of these tackles claims the job, this team walks into Denver on September 14th looking exactly like the contender everyone expects. If the injuries linger and the left tackle spot is still a rotation in week 1, this becomes a much longer season than the Kingdom wants to imagine. Now here's what I need from you. 1. Hit that like if you believe Kansas City proves last season was an anomaly. 2. Comment your left tackle solution. 3. Subscribe, because every subscriber makes Broncos fans a little more nervous. But don't leave yet, because the edge is right here. There's 1 preseason game left at home against Seattle, and at least 3 roster decisions are riding on it, including a quarterback spot and a starting tackle job. Those calls come within days. And on top of that, Alohi Gilman's back spasms have no timeline attached to them, and this secondary has already lost its voice once this month. Which domino falls first, the injury report or the depth chart? This isn't the end. The next 72 hours in Kansas City will be louder than a 3rd and long at Arrowhead. Subscribe now.